Hello everybody and welcome out to episode 106 of the Save Slot 3 Gamescast. I'm your host, EOF Gizmo, joined us by Massive Das, Chris Mangeli.
Hello everyone.
And Mr. Atari Jaguar, CW Lanky.
Hello Dave.
So boys, it's been a couple of weeks. We've been busy, very busy.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Been a while.
And only
What was
two
the last-
Taunton
what was the
Town
last one we
games
did?
was played. It was something to do with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth,
Oh, okay.
because that was the thumbnail.
I didn't get the complete review now. I can't believe you finished it now, Chris. That's good.
Chris can tell us all about the main story and nothing else. I can't wait to hear about it. But we'll get to that shortly. So we'll start with me because I want to get my talking out of the way. So in the last couple of weeks, I have 3 pickups. I actually turned the ripe old age of 34. Haven't found a bridge to jump off yet, but we'll get there. We'll find one. So I have a couple of pickups. So first of all, my beautiful girlfriend bought me Sonic Frontiers because that's what all beautiful girlfriends should be buying their 34-year-old boyfriends. On PlayStation.
Is that
on PlayStation? Not the one I had on Switch that ran at 6 frames a second.
I was about to say, I think you have that, I thought.
Yeah, I sold it. It was like, oh. So yeah, we'll try it on.
So you get for playing a game on the Switch, Dave.
Apparently so, but we'll try it on PlayStation with the Monster Hunter DLC. You can dress your guy up as a Monster Hunter. Don't know why.
Oh yeah, because you can be Sonic in Monster Hunter as well, can't you? Yeah.
Which is obviously the best way to play that game.
Yeah.
So that has necessitated me turning my PlayStation 5 on. I have not played a single game on it since our last podcast though.
We do need to go back and play some more Helldivers.
Yeah, they've added mechs now, right? So that's really
And
fun.
there's flying bugs.
Flying
Oh,
bugs.
sorry, that is not flying bugs. That's propaganda. You know. Yeah.
Propaganda. Okay, well, we'll definitely get back on that. I've been very busy, and you guys have had very busy schedules as well. So Easter is coming, and I have a lot of time off, so we'll probably play some games. Maybe even do another stream, see if we can bring prosperity to Super F. So that's that. On the Xbox Series X, I have played a little bit more of Vanquish, but I think that is all I've played. I'm really racking my brains. I haven't seen any achievements for anything else, so I can't really. I mean, it's still Vanquish. It's still good. Obviously, on the OG Xbox, I've played lots of V-Rally 3. For people that have seen those uploads on my channel, they've done quite well. So yeah, it's a great game. Hasn't changed. And a little bit of Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, the movie, the game, which is a great game about a great movie, about a great book. So yeah. But what? Anything else before we talk about Nintendo? I turned my Dreamcast on just to see if it still works, and it does. Sonic Adventure 2 still great.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Pretty good. I've got a sealed copy of Virtua Tennis 2 for some reason. That has the BAFTA sticker on the seal, so it's like that new. I don't recall buying it because I usually play my games. So where I got it from, I don't know. Maybe from when GameStation closed, actually, because I had a friend that gave me loads of Dreamcast stuff because they were throwing it in a bin. So there we go. Literally, they were like, "Oh,
Longs, am I right?"
but this is the old good old days. They were like, "Yeah, we're getting rid of this console, so we're throwing it all in the bin." And my friend was like, "You can have it if you want. Like, I've saved it from the bin." I was like, "Yeah, cool." I've got like 20 controllers. It's wild. So yeah, on Nintendo, I played a bit more of Super Mario Galaxy on the Wii. That's still good. But that has been kind of its spotlight's been stolen by one of my other pickups, which is of course, this is a long one. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, which I bought with my #birthday gift cards. And the only other one to pick up with the same gift card was Mario and Donkey Kong, the new one that came out, because I haven't played the old one. And to be honest with you, and this is a really bad thing to say, I went and bought the 2 games that didn't cost me any money with the biggest resale value on websites, because that is kind of where I am with life at the moment. So I'm going to play them, sell them. But Super Mario 3D World is still really, really good. I played it on the Wii U, but it is improved. It's a lot quicker and smoother. Still a fun game. It's just a fun-ass Mario game. It's not going to change anyone's life, but it's equally not going to blow itself up within 3 seconds of turning it on. So, cool. Didn't pay anything for it. It's fun. Haven't played Mario Donkey Kong yet. I'll play that afterwards.
Have you played any of Bowser's Fury or just play 3D World?
No, I'm going to finish 3D World, and then I might even stream all of Bowser's Fury. Because everyone's bigged it up quite a bit, so I'm looking forward to playing that, because that's the actual new part of the game, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm still playing Advance Wars on my Switch, which is really good. I still play Mario Kart 8 all the time, and I've played some more Splatoon story and multiplayer. So I've just been kind of being a bit of a Switch boy at the minute, just because I spend all day looking at either 2 or 3 monitors with my job, which is obviously where all my big consoles are like set up to. So when I don't want to be doing that, I'll lie in bed and play my Switch, because there isn't a handheld for the other two at the moment, really. So, but yeah, that's why I've been playing so much.
A Portal, Dave?
Yeah. Well, you can't buy them anyway, can you? And it's all
they're always sold out.
And it's cloud. I don't want to spend £200. I don't have £200 anyway, Craig, right? But I don't want to spend that on a cloud machine if I can help it.
Yeah, there's even an article somewhere that like Sony like shocked internally how well it's selling, and it's like always sold out. As soon as it goes up, it's sold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's of course the Logitech one, which does both.
Yeah.
So if like say if you were interested in it, Craig, and you have both consoles, I think I've seen it for about 280, 270 on Curry's, the Logitech one. But again, I don't have that to spend on superfluous stuff at the moment. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. I would imagine this week I will play some Helldivers and maybe some stuff. I downloaded some retro games on my PS5 that I've had in my account for ages. So the PS2 versions of the Vice City, for example, which they don't sell anymore because the definitive version's awful. I have that, and so I'll probably play that this week or something like that. But yeah.
Wait, didn't you get the trilogy for Switch or something? Or
no, I had it for Xbox.
Yeah.
And then it crashed 3 times upon loading up, so I sold it and then complained about it to Microsoft's help contact center. But yeah, it was awful. It was like unplayable, bad. Like it would literally like I tried to play 3 and it crashed in the same mission 3 times. I was like, okay, well, I'll play Vice City. That did the same. I uninstalled it and I was like, I'm playing on Series X. Like, what the hell? Like, I have my original Xbox versions of this game that still work, and obviously I had the PS2 ports that have been on PS4. But yeah, so I sold it back. Sent it back to Amazon. Didn't even sell it. Got a refund. But yeah, that is me, Pengy. What have you been up to?
Yeah, so really I've only sort of played 2 games. So the big one, and most of literally until today, so over 2 weeks was the last podcast, I believe, and that's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which has been finished and sold.
And what do we think of it, Pengy?
It's great. It is absolutely great. The final 2 chapters, so good with the story and that of Final Fantasy VII stuff like. I don't really want to spoil anything if like Craig's never played it, but it is a game from 1997, the story, so it is out there if you want to know what happens. But yeah, the last 2 chapters are so good. It like elevates it from where I sort of had it in my mind and that. So yeah.
And what was your score then, Pengy?
I'm not going to do a score, but as Craig may bring up the score again at a later point in a later podcast.
Wow, you're rent-free in his head, Craig.
Wow. Too scared to score games, now, Dave.
Scared to score games. Okay, so what have you bought? Anything else, Pengy?
No, so that's what I've played on PlayStation, mostly. And then I started today, I turned my Switch on. And I've never had the Switch panic, but the Switch must have been panicking like it's been turned on. It sounded like, like the PS4 when you turn that, like the OG PS4, you turn that on, it sounded like it was going to take off. The Switch sounded like it was going to take off. Never had a Switch do that. And it's like, it must have been so shocked to being turned on. I turned it on to play Snufkin, Melody of Moomin Valley.
And how is Snufkin, Melody of Moomin Valley, Pengy?
Yeah, it's a pretty good, chill sort of game. It's the sort of palate cleanser game after a 70-hour JRPG to play. I've almost finished it. I'm at the end. You're just going to do a play for someone. So, yeah, it's like a couple-hour sort of, like I said, palate cleanser type of game before I go into another big JRPG soon.
Is this what you were moaning about? Runs like shit.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so the frame rate, and obviously Final Fantasy I did play in the performance mode, which is 60 frames, and I've gone to this, so maybe going from the 60 to 30, but some of, like, it chugs, like, you get to a bit, and then, like, you could see it, like, stop to, like, catch the next frame, and when you move to between two areas, that loads every time between you go through one area of the map to another. As soon as you go like off screen, it loads and stuff like that. It's like yeah. Only if we had an SSD at something, so we didn't have to have load times every time you move between areas, would be a good thing, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
One day, Penguins, one day.
Yeah, because you say that, but like they can put an SSD in the Switch too. But I guess the Steam Deck's got them, haven't they? So I guess they could. I don't know, but yeah, that's that. And I've got two pickups.
And what are the pickups, Pinky?
So I have Banishers, Ghost of New Eden on PS5.
Lovely.
And Unicorn Overlord for PS5 as well.
Oh, Sega Atlas, say.
Yeah, no. Are you going to buy Dragon's Dogma in like a week's time as well?
Yeah.
God,
Fucking hell, Pengy. Christ.
Dragon Dogma 1 is another game that is on my to be played list because I know 2 looks good, but like we've talked about, I've got no money. But yeah, on PS Plus, Craig, by the way. Didn't realise. Just to let you know.
So where are you going to squeeze those two in, Pengy? Because I think Banisher's quite long.
Yeah, 2 days.
No,
2 days, Pink will do that in.
I don't know. How long the beat time on that is 21 hours. So, but then how long the beat time for Final Fantasy is 40 hours, and I played to 70. So,
Yeah, I heard like I think it might have been Rand on the Xbox 2 saying he's played 30 hours of Banishers and he's still not finished it.
yeah. And Unicorn Overlord, I think, is 35 hours.
I love that you look all this up before you even buy everything. It's so cute. How much were these two games, Pengy?
These two, so Banishers, I paid £30 for,
That's not bad.
and Unicorn Overlord, I paid £35 for that. Which I think it's 55 on Amazon. I managed to get it for 35. That someone was on eBay, listed literally the day after it came out, and yeah, I won it for 35 quid. So
Lovely stuff.
yeah, and obviously I've sold Final Fantasy for 50. So that net spend cup. See.
Nice. And is that everything you've purchased, Pengy?
Yeah. Yes.
Anything pre-ordered? Just because, but why not?
Dragon's Dogma 2.
Okay.
And
that's on PS5?
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
Princess Peach.
Nice. I'm still torn. At the moment, I have Paper Mario and Luigi's Mansion pre-ordered because they're cheap at the moment. But I don't know which one. I don't know if I'm going to keep them both or not. I've never played either of the games really much, but I'm probably more interested in Luigi's Mansion 2. Don't know why. But yeah, anyway, that was my internal thought.
Yeah, even though 1,000 Years Door is...
It's the better game, but it's a longer game, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Whereas Luigi's Mansion is going to be... I've got a flight...
8-10 hours, I guess.
Yeah, like I've got a flight 2 days after it comes out that's 7 hours, and I'm like, I could probably finish it on that flight.
Yeah.
Instead of watching Marvel's Avengers Endgame twice, like I did the last time I had a flight that long.
Yeah.
And Black Adam. What an awful flight that was, I wish Infinite War, Endgame, and Black Adam on a flight.
So not seen Black Adam.
It's not worth seeing. I'm going to watch The Flash because I have access to that this month, and I'm hoping for hilarity. But anyway, Craigo, what have you played this couple of weeks?
So mine's gonna be nice and short and sweet, boys, because all I've played is more Infinite Wealth. That's just for it. I think I'm 53 hours in now, I want to say. And I'm on to chapter 13, I think.
Nice.
So I think I'm near the end. It's still great. I love the swapping every chapter between Kiryu and Kasuga, going back from Hawaii to Japan. It's just great shit. I've been no rush for this game to end, to be honest with you. It's that good. I think I've done most of the side quests now. I literally just got the achievement for completing 40 side quests. So I don't think there's many more side quests for me to do now. I mean, obviously I could do the Doku Doku Island, but that's not really my sort of thing. So I'll probably just steamroll through now to get it done. And then I have to find something else to play until Dragon's Dogma, which I think is Friday, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
probably something short.
Just Helldivers probably until then, right?
Yeah, maybe. I was thinking, there's plenty. I always think about this. I think, God, there's just too much, isn't there? There's just too much, boys.
Yeah.
It's just. I was looking at Game Pass, and I was looking at PlayStation Plus, and I was like, there's just too much. Like, if no one made another video game for 2 years, I still don't think we'd run out, would we?
No, not even. Well, Chris would, because he'd have a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
But the rest of us will be fine.
And I've not even thought about the old buddy, the switchy thing. Fuck that. But like, just between PlayStation and Xbox, it's just too much, isn't it? It's just insane.
Yeah.
How would you boys do it? Have you boys had all three for like the whole time or every time? It's madness.
Addictions.
Madness.
I mean, I haven't played, so like that's a bigger discussion. But like, I probably haven't played 50% of exclusive games across the three this gen. There isn't enough. There isn't enough time, let alone third party. Like, I haven't played half the games that have come out on PS5 or Xbox or Switch comfortably. So
it's just so much, isn't it? It's just so much.
Yeah, I think going forward, so like, I know we have this discussion fairly regularly, but shoulda, coulda, would I move away to a different country next year? It will probably be one console for a while, because there just is no need for multiple now, because everything is on everything, really. Like, an Xbox with Game Pass is just as useful as a PlayStation with PS Plus. Like, just pick your poison. Do you want your slow walking daddy issues game, or do you want Forza? Basically, that's your two choices. And then Nintendo makes Nintendo games which are fun for the family.
Yeah, so
Is it, if you're a single man, I think Nintendo has much less appeal. As a non-single man, it's much easier to say to my girlfriend, "Hey, play some Mario Kart," instead of going, "Hey, do you want to watch me play Persona?" Like, you know what I mean? So, I think she'd probably leave me if she watched me play Persona. She doesn't like anime. She said that, and I quote, "Pengels is a pervert." So.
no, it is true.
It is true. But moving on from Pengels' perversions of a perverse nature, let's move on to the topics of the show. Tots. So we're going to do the going through the Xbox partner showcase second, because I think that's
the more interesting bit.
It's probably less interesting because it was so long ago, so people aren't coming here and be like, I want to know what Chris Pengelly thinks about random ass Xbox games. So we'll start with the PlayStation Pro rumors. So this comes from Tom Warren of The Verge. Sony is reportedly working on a PlayStation 5 Pro model that may well include a far more powerful GPU that's up to 3 times faster than the existing PS5 models you just paid £400 for. YouTuber Moore's Law is Dead claims to have gotten access to a technical overview document for the PS5 Pro, codenamed Trinity, and now Tom Henderson, Insider Gaming, reports that the leaked specifications are accurate and the console is set to release during Holiday 24. So, what are the screenshots of the technicals, you may ask? It's a 64 teraflop of 16-bit floating point calculation, which works out to about 33.5 teraflops of single precision compute, Craig. That
Hence
report.
I love that teraflops are making a comeback now.
Yeah, because the PS4, PS5 is 10.5.
Pengels, will you let me finish reading this out so we can have that discussion?
Okay.
That reportedly works out to be 45% rendering performance improvement over the current PS5, whereas the existing PS5 is 10.28 teraflops. So tripling that would be a significant performance increase on the GPU side alone. The PS5 Pro may also offer 3 times the ray tracing performance. Henderson reports documents which were reportedly posted to Sony's own developer portal also mention the PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution (PSSR), which is rumored to use PlayStation machine learning for image upscaling, similar to DLSS and FSR. So that's AI upscaling. That's fine. This may well include upscaling to 8K. Who needs that? Has blah 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 blah. So it seems like someone has leaked early, because you get sent these dev kits and dev specs around about 6 months before release, unless you're a big developer. So for example, when I was working at Wild Melon Games, we got the Wii U technical specifications in about June of 2012, when the console came out in November of 2012. And then they send you an NDA and you say, I won't tell anyone, I promise. We didn't, because we were good. Although I think I did actually mention to you on a podcast, Pinky, like on the sly.
Yeah, you may
Something
have.
like that might be in the Switch actually, but it was something that I leaked. But anyway, don't come for me, Nintendo. But it's one of those where
Nintendo jail.
right, Nintendo jail. But it's one of those where like someone's leaked this because, yeah, I think it could well be a Sony leak because they've got nothing else going on, and they're like, oh, we need something to go on. So initial thoughts, Craig Warren.
It's interesting this time round because so when we had the One X and what was the PlayStation one? Was it just the PlayStation
PS4 Pro?
4? Was it just PS4 Pro? The big selling point was that it was like it was 4K and HDR, right? Because that had just become like it had gone from being something that no one had unless you had like a very expensive TV to it became quite affordable at that sort of time, right? So there was like an obvious thing that you could put on the box and everyone would understand, and could like everyone could clearly see in that 4K HDR look better than whatever was before that, right? Whereas there's not really that kind of tech at the moment, is there? So I think it's going to be interesting how they market because it's going to be you can put teraflops and 3 times ray tracing whatever, but to most people that just means fucking nothing, does it? I haven't a fucking clue what any of that means. What difference is that realistically going to make? So it's going to be interesting how they actually market that. I don't know. It's also going to be very interesting to see the price as well because how much is like a PlayStation 5 now retail?
I think the retail is $449.99.
Yeah,
but that's the slim now because they don't sell the normal model.
Yeah, they got rid of the normal ones, didn't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, the pricing is going to be very interesting because is it what 550? Is it 600? Who knows?
Well, it's one of those where like before we get the PlayStation view from Pengy, you need a reason, right? So the obvious reason is GTA 6 is coming out next year. So the obvious reason is they want to be, hey, get your GTA 6 on most powerful console. Personally, I know that most people don't care about that. You know as well as I do that Johnny Blogs that's already got a PS5 is just buying GTA and is not going to notice that it's 60 1080 or 30 4K. They just ain't gonna care. All right, they just ain't. That's the honest truth. People like us, sure, like we like the latest models of stuff, but like my brother ain't gonna notice the difference. He just ain't. But they want to be able to market it, so that makes sense. I think they need to have another reason to upgrade, and it has to be a game. So that's why I think that the holiday this year is like maybe, because they don't have anything. So it's like if they turn around and be like, oh, we've got Ghost of Tsushima 2, cool. Then that was like or The Last of Us Part 3 or something like that. Then that'll sell consoles, but I just don't see the point. And I said the same about the Xbox.
What's their games last time though for the PlayStation? I feel like
they had updates, wasn't it? Was it Last of Us Part 2, Pengy?
Oh, I can't remember what was. There was not a lot.
The push was more on the tech as opposed to the games. Because the problem is if you market the games for this tech, then you kind of slap everyone else in the face, don't you? I can't imagine they're going to want to do that. This is why I was saying about the whole 4K like HDR shit, where it's like it's just like, how do you market it? Like, oh, it's got more teraflops. How do you?
Yeah. So like I got my Pro because I played it would have been the first Horizon like EGX, and they had that on like a Pro and on a 4K TV, and it's like, oh, this looks amazing, and sort of thing. And it was like you said, it is easy to sort of like at the time tell the difference. Like, that's why again it kind of shits on the other, even though basic PS4 looks how much more amazing this looks, but again you needed the TV for it, sort of thing. So yeah, like you say, how do you market it if they come out? This is obviously for GTA 6, and like you said, this is going to be like, how do you market? Oh yeah, if you buy this version, it's 60 frames, 4K, but if you play it on your PS5, your Xbox, or whatever, well, it's not on PC yet, launches it. Oh, it's just 30 frames. Like I don't really know, and then the kind of shits on all the current PS5 and the Xbox. I don't really know how you market that.
Yeah, I think
I don't. I don't see it. Because for me, like I bought the One X day one, but then I think I just bought the TV that I had now like a month before that or something like that. So I was like, I wanted to kind of justify this nice new spanky TV I had for myself.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be interesting. I guess that is the thing. if third-party games suddenly start running significantly better on it and they start struggling, because we are in the second half of this gen now, realistically, right?
Yep.
So this would be when the games are kind of pushing the consoles the hardest, you'd imagine. So if we get to say it comes to the end of the year and I don't know, Star Wars Outlaws is end of the year, and that runs like dog shit on PlayStation 5 and Series X, but is really good on the Pro or whatever it's going to be called, then you can see it there, and the same with GTA and Monster Hunter, whatever the fuck it's called. Is it Horizons?
Wild.
Yeah. Quite a bit another Horizon. You don't want that. Yeah, so you could maybe see that if like the third party games do start struggling.
Yeah,
and
like
they're like this is not
Dragon's
struggling
Dogma,
over here.
Like Dragon's Dogma 2 out this week is 30 frames a second. It's like, well, on the Pro it's 60 frames a second, but to Dave's point, and you both said, like, how many people care about that?
I don't think people care. I think the hardcore care, and that's the people that buy it to begin with. It's the same with iPhones, right? Like, people go, like, the Apple hardcore buy the iPhone 14 Pro, and then that's the one you see in all the ads, that's the one you see in, like, all the celebrities use in films, and then that's what you want. If you can afford it, you'll buy it. But if you can't, you still get the Slim because you're still involved, right? So like the example, like it will be a 30 to 60 frames thing. Like the one I think will be something like Bloodborne. If they turn around and went, here's Bloodborne remastered, 60 frames at 8K on the Pro, 60 frames 1080 on the Slim. Like the hardcore PlayStation fan, all 500,000 to 2 million of you will go out and buy it straight away. And then when 2 million people have it, and then they can go, well, actually, this is the profit margin on it. Like, they probably make more profit on the bigger, more expensive machine, as silly as it sounds, because it's just how that works. And then you get it. It's never going to... Like, I would love to know the stats, but the PS4 Pro probably wasn't even 50% of PS4s sold last gen. Not even close, I would imagine. And I would imagine the same is for Xbox One X to Xbox Ones. I can't imagine that the One X sold 50% of the Xbox One sales. So they still will make all of their games for the PS5, but the few people that want it that they can get a double dip out of will get the double dip. Like I can't imagine there'll be any exclusive games for the PS5 Pro, because why would they? No. Why would they alienate 53 whatever million owners of the game? Right? That's just what they always do. So it's just a luxury machine. It's that, like, I can afford it, so I've got it. Like I said, the iPhone is the best way I can describe it. Is like, because if you just can afford an iPhone, you'll get an iPhone. But if you can afford a Pro, you'll get a Pro, won't you? Because it's that little prestige, like the clout of it. But I mean,
and that's the thing. I think you can, like, use your brother example. Like, this is, this console will be aimed at the people that care about the 60 frames or whatever. Like you said, the hardcore. It's not for, like, it's like we're talking about it on on this on this podcast sort of thing. That's like the market. So going back, do they need to advertise? Like, oh, you got to advertise it. How do you advertise it? But does that matter when the people that know about it are going to be the people that buy it, and your brother's not going to be the ones that are going to necessarily care about it?
No. So I suppose that before
I think you still need I think you still need something like something to put on the box, don't you?
I think it would be 8K, 60 frames, HDR. They'll have this PSSR. DLSR thing.
It's on the PlayStation box, though.
Yeah, David. It is, but it's like it's one of those where they'll have the PSSR thing. That's really a marketing term for DLSR and for FSR. That'll be the thing they go for because nerds care. And then when they turn around and do a handheld, what that does is let you upscale. So that'll be the crossover. So when they do let's just call it the PlayStation Steam Deck, right? The PlayStation Deck, and it's exactly the same as a Steam Deck, right? They can turn around and go, well, it's got PSSR version 1, so your games. It can run PS5 games without any nearer the power, and it runs at 800p HDR, blah 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 blah. Right, and that'll be the thing. That'll be their big marketing push for this. Will be PSSR, and then Xbox will come out if they don't use FSR or DLSL, which I think they probably will because I think they've got an AMD chip, right, Pinky? So I think they'll just use that, but that'll be on that box for when the inevitable Xbox Series X Pro is announced, probably in the next month. That'll leak. Because it's already leaked. We know it's coming. They just haven't announced it yet. They'll announce it in June. I think they've said they're announcing hardware
the Xbox weren't going to do
Did they or
Yeah,
didn't?
gen refreshes.
they've said the Series X is already the Pro console.
Okay,
No,
so
I-
they'll be the handheld then, right? It'd be the thing because they said they're announcing hardware in June. Am I wrong? I'm pretty sure they said that during
yeah.
the...
Well, they said announcing hardware, so I don't know if Sarah Bond said for this holiday or announcing it this holiday.
I thought they were
Alright.
announcing it this holiday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so whatever they announce will have. I promise you, this is almost a bet now that the Xbox version of DSR, I can't. FSR is what I know. I'm going to say FSR. That'll be a thing because that seems to be the fact that marketing term has leaked means it's one, it's real, and two, that'll be the thing that they're pushing because you can, like Craig said, they've already got 8K on a box. Putting PSSR, some fancy PlayStation logo that's like almost like a thing of quality, and that will be on the front of almost every game that uses it. On PS5 Pro, it's got PSSR, so you can play it in 8K 60 frames without any loss of ray tracing quality. Like, you know what I mean? That was what it will be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose we can't really say much until it's officially announced. But I suppose the question is, are you any of you going to buy it? I know Chris is definitely going to buy it, right? Day one.
Oh yeah, I've already rang Herman and put my pre-order in.
Love that. Craig, I would imagine that
What,
this is a PlayStation, you don't care.
Well, before me, what would be your top end that you'd go though, Pengy, for price? Like if it was,
This is a question for a man. Isn't it?
yeah, if it was 600, are you in?
He's done it before.
I think 600 is the limit, and that
You
is
would go 650.
no. I think over 600
So
is.
But how
600
much-
is as high as you would go.
But how much Pengle's math would you do?
Well, obviously I sell my PS5.
There we go. So let's get into the real bits of this, Craig. So he goes around, right? Get the PS5 out for 300, right? Before it gets too much, right? Give me 2 weeks for that PlayStation. I'll be alright. I'll live. So that's 300. So it's already only 350. You've got that anyway. Sell a couple of games. Sell like some Switch games. That makes it down to 175. You know what I mean? Like Chris will go as high as 649.99. If it comes,
I'd like to say,
it comes with
Peggy.
anything extra. If it comes with a towel that has a fucking PlayStation logo on it, if it comes with some PlayStation condoms from the hang up, anything, he'll buy it.
I think
If it was 700, Pengy, that's a no. Is that what you're saying?
I think that's there. I think over 600. The only other problem is what games launched for this. So you remember my predictions in January. I predicted PS5 Pro would be this year, and an Astro game would be this year. And then obviously we had Jeff Grubb say an Astro game coming this year, which I could see taking advantage of the Pro. So if that's a proper like 50 quid release, you got to put that on top as well.
You need something more than that, though, don't you?
Because
we like
I think
Astro.
Jeff said maybe as well. I don't know if he said that it's,
Yeah, I can see that being like.
I feel like Bloodborne
I don't wanna
is the
say-
obvious answer. I don't know why, but I feel like it's or Uncharted, something or other.
Yeah, I just it's like the Astro's always sort of been used as a, I don't want to say tech demo, but it's like I'm like using the new stuff of like PlayStation. Like, oh, here's the new Astro. Look how good this ray tracing is. You can literally see your face in the game, and that's how good it is.
Yeah. I mean, as for me, I don't know, 'cause I'm quite happy with my PlayStation, like, as is at the moment, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I quite like it. It's a nice bit of kit. It's good games, isn't it? And obviously, I only really use it for PlayStation exclusives. So unless I'm always going to play my third party on Xbox, unless it gets to the point, I guess, where, like we said, GTA comes out and it runs like absolute dick on the Xbox, and it's like, oh well, if I want to play, games going forward, I pretty much have to have a PlayStation Pro. I think that's the only way I really pick it up. I don't think there's any exclusives they could bring out that are going to make me go, I need to buy that instead, because I just play them on the PlayStation, which I'm probably quite happy with anyway.
Yeah, well, you got a good friends deal on that, didn't you? And like that served its purpose. Like all jokes aside,
exactly.
like the one I have as well. Like I like to come on here and wind up Chris, and then our group chat. Like I love winding up Chris about PlayStation, but in reality, like it does it. I've not once played it and gone, oh, I'll tell you what, I wish this was more powerful. Like it's not really anything, like. There's nothing I think that they can announce that would be like, I need to go out and spend £600 on a Pro, personally. But again, like it's like we said, we always used to say with Craig, if you're all in on one platform, then fine. Like if you're all in on Xbox, get the newest, best Xbox, because you play on Xbox every day. If you're all in on Switch, yeah, go and buy the OLED. Like you play it every day, right? So, but But
Yeah, even like the frames per second thing, because I played Spider-Man 2 on the 30 frames per second mode like the whole time, and it felt really good. Um, so I don't know, like, even just the 60 frames per second, I don't know if that's enough to grab me personally.
no, I think as long as it looks good, like this is my always argument with the 30 and 60. Like you'll play Dragon's Dogma and you won't notice. Like Starfield was 30. I didn't once go, God, this runs badly. Like I was like, it looks fine. Like it's smooth. Give me better load
Yeah.
times. Like if that's the make the game better. Like, I know we've had this like half joke thing in our group chat. I know me and Chris have had this discussion recently. Like, for the love of God, just make games that fucking work and are fun. Like, does it really need you to put a fucking £600 console out for you to have a game that works? Like, I don't care at this point. I don't care. Just make a game that works and is fun. Like, I don't want to play a half-baked Suicide Squad and Final Fantasy 16 that's just depressing. Like, just make a fun, good game. That's all I want. And maybe Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth is that game. But anyway, like, you know what I mean? Like, just keep making fun, good games. There's no need. There's no need for anything else. Such a controversial thing for me to say, I know. But make a game good and I will play it. Like,
the other thing as well, just thinking on the spot, is obviously we're in this weird situation now where like game budgets are out of control and fucking everyone's losing money because we can't sell enough copies of games to get the budgets back. Having like better tech is surely just going to make budgets even go up even higher.
yeah, I think it'll. I think the industry doesn't want this. Like, I think the industry would rather that you turned around and said, "Hey, we found a way to make the PS5 £299, and make money back, and we've found a way to make it handheld because people will lose." Like, I think all of us would rather a handheld than a pro model. Am I right? For both of them. So like, make that cheap and affordable. It's in a recession. You'll sell more. You don't need a £600 pro console unless you're Chris Pengelly.
Yeah.
In which case you need it all.
Yes.
Right, to play your PSP classic games.
Oh yeah. And Monster Hunter Wilds next year.
I mean, yeah. Are we gonna play it on PlayStation? Me and Craig have made this mistake before.
No, that'd be Xbox for me, definitely.
Yeah, right.
Because unless it runs like absolute dog shit, and that's the only way to really play it.
The RE engine's always good on Xbox.
Yeah.
If I get Dragon's Dogma 2, it'll be on Xbox. Which means I probably need to play the first one on Xbox, which I do own on Xbox. But yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the second part of this show because we're actually making relatively good time. The Xbox Partner Showcase was at some point in the past. It's last week?
It was March, 11 days ago. Apparently.
11 days ago, there we go. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was still a young man then. Now I'm old. I'm broken. So, Pengy, you got a list?
No, Craig's got the list.
Oh, Craig is the list, man. Craig, list off what we saw on the Xbox Partner Showcase for me, please.
The first thing they showed was this is a terrible name, Unknown 9 Awakening. And this was the Bandai Namco Assassin's Creed India looking thing, I think.
Yeah.
Which had the woman from the Witcher series, didn't it? I think you've got her name now. Is it Anya Sank, or is that her surname?
Oh, I'm not sure. She plays Yennefer, doesn't she?
Yeah,
in the Witcher series.
Yeah, it had her in it. It looked kind of odd, but it looked very Assassin's Creedy, right? It had some sort of possession ability, it looked like, as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that combat where you control people and then it goes like sort of turn-based sort of thing, and then you go back to whoever the character is.
Yeah, and this is from, I think this is the studio's first game. It's this the studio they've made at Bandai Namco have set up in Montreal, I think. Could reflect there.
Oui, baguette.
I don't know if it's just me being cynical now, but I looked at this and went, cool. A new IP in this market. Looked kind of AAA. This doesn't look like something that's going to make money. I can see.
The Immortals of Avium written all over it.
I can see in a few years' time, Reflector having lots of redundancies or so. I don't know if that's just me being cynical, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of sad now, isn't it? That you see games like this, and you're like, oof. Is that going to end badly?
Yeah, I mean I think the game looked fine, but again, I don't personally think it stood out in any way. And yeah, we will do a whole episode talking about the hashtag state of the industry because I think there's discussion to be had, and Craig's right. But
yeah,
this looked fine for what they showed, but
Yeah, I guess it depends how, because I bring like Immortals of Avium and how stuff affect it. But then I bought Banishers, which is more of like a double A sort of game from Dontnod. It's like that where it kind of falls. Is it a more of a Banishers or is it a more of a Immortals in like the terms of the budget spent and that. You never know. It's the thing. Do we want more sequels? Do you want Last of Us Part 2 remastered remake, Dave, or do you want a new IP? So,
No, I think we all want this sort of game to exist, don't we? It's just
yeah.
it's hard to see a future at the moment. After that, we had Sleight of Hand, which is apparently a stealth game. None of us give a shit.
No, see, when I'm watching the trailer now, I thought this was in the Vampire the Masquerade universe when she talks about like my coven and stuff like that. It's like, oh no, not another Vampire Masquerade game.
No one needs that. After that, we had The Altars, which is this 11-bit?
Yeah,
this
they're
is
like
one of them.
publisher. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they showed quite a lot of 11-bit games, didn't they?
Yeah.
This is the clone game, right?
Mm.
You make a world. It's on Game Pass. It looked like a PC game to me.
Yeah, that's I thought it was a PC only game. I was like, oh, okay, it's coming to consoles as well.
Yeah. So it's probably not one for any of us. Another one from 11-bit. It's called Creatures of Ava.
This
Penguil's game, I thought.
Yeah, I thought when I first thought, I was like, "What?" I also thought there was a partner preview, but yeah, this is what I always thought. Everwild was going to be like the animals and stuff help you. It looks very good. This is the first game in the preview. I'm like, oh yeah, I most probably will buy this title.
Yeah, I think this is also on Game Pass as well.
Yeah, Unknown I might be one I pick up. It depends when in the summer etc. sort of thing. But this is the more likely title so far.
Yeah, sort of game that Dave would violently hate, I think.
Yeah, don't
be throwing the G word around, Craig.
I kind of get the keener British spirits from it, which I know Dave has not finished, and neither have I. But it's one of those games I could see Dave kind of vibing with.
I think it's one of those games that, and this is, again, that could be in a whole other freaking video. If I ever follow through on what I say and stay to one platform, it's the type of game I'll play. But you'll never catch me playing these fucking indie games where I've got actual games to play on 3 platforms. I'd rather replay Mario for the 400th time than play a game where I walk in and you tell me about my feelings. Like, I don't care. What's the point? I already know. I hate the world, Craig. I don't need a game to tell me that.
You don't need another metaphor for impression. After that, we had a Roblox announcement, boys, which is something to do with Chucky, I think.
Yeah, Chucky's coming to Roblox.
Which absolutely no one gives a shit about unless you're into Roblox. And then, Dave, we had the announcement of all announcements. Because a little while ago, we had a game called The Sinking City came out, Dave.
We did.
And no one in their right mind bought that game other than Chris Pengelly.
Yeah.
Hey, other people shelf.
Other people
and didn't get played, and then he sold it.
To get a sequel.
And now somehow it's getting a sequel. I'm shocked that this is happening. I can't believe it. I can't believe that first game sold well enough to justify a sequel.
Yeah, you say that, but the Frogware games always sort of do. Again, I guess their budgets are small. Always do quite well. Like, how many Sherlock Holmes games have they put out? For instance,
maybe this is the future.
Maybe
this is where we're heading. Endless Sinking City sequels, Dave.
All right, which is what Chris has always asked for.
Chris, you've got to buy this one again, please, mate.
No,
I beg you.
I think this is a pass.
You just won't do it, will you? Just won't do it.
No. And it's 2025, so.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I can get that on your PlayStation Pro, then. There you go.
Yeah.
After that, we had Final Fantasy 14 online was announced. And was some of it in Game Pass, or was it part of Game Pass for a month or something like that?
So it's a subscription MMO. So
you
get the first month for free with Game Pass. It's been in free beta for new players for the last couple of weeks. I I'm not even being dramatic when I say it's the best Final Fantasy game by a long way, because there's just so much content and it's good content. So, not a game that I
Mike
think
loves this off from Game Mass.
Yeah,
it's like very favorite game.
It's one of those for someone like Craig that unemployment would get you into it. You lost your job, boy, would you get good at Final Fantasy 14. But it takes a lot of time.
Pure in work has suddenly been playing a lot of it for some reason.
We had a spell a couple of years ago. Me and you played it quite a bit, if I remember right. I mean, I played it. I remember playing like 25 hours of it on PS5.
Yeah, and he's really excited about the new expansion and the artist class type and stuff that's coming.
It's a full-time job. It's one of those games.
Yeah, these games are just time sinks, aren't they? Oh, shit. Is Clive coming to it? Is that what I saw?
The actor is, right?
The actor might be, yeah.
Okay.
He's coming, yeah, because the two new classes, like one of them's Viper one, so it's based on like sedans from like Final Fantasy 9. Then you got the picture, like the artist one, which you do paint and stuff like that. And I know View was telling me he's doing a quest for Jesse, Wedge, and Biggs and stuff the other day. So yeah, there is crossover with the other mainline ones, but yeah.
What about Gav? What's Gav in this? Gav in this?
Much probably not. No, he might be a quest person, I guess, like Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge.
Okay, no hope for Gav. Sad times. After that, we had the Stalker Legends of the Zone trilogy. Which I'll be honest, they started showing this, and I thought, fucking hell, the new Stalker game looks rough, doesn't it? Christ, I got this in fantasy. Fucking hell. And then it became very clear that it was just showing the old ones. And I was like, thank fucking God for that. Christ. These are PC games again, aren't they? But they're coming to console now, right?
Yeah. First time on console.
There you go. And they were shadow dropped as well, weren't they? They came out on the same day.
Yeah, I think they're 20 quid each, or you can get all three for like 40 or something. So you basically get one free.
Got to support those developers in literal war-torn countries.
Yeah, those poor devs. But obviously they've done this because the next
it's a like pseudo Xbox exclusive, isn't it? In a weird way.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, but they're good games, but they're PC games. So like, there's kind of like the old Metro games that if you like Metro Exodus, you're like, I could go back and play the other two, but yeah.
And then we had one for you, Dave. We had Monster Jam Showdown.
What a random game for them to show.
I know,
so they're like weird budget, because it's a toy, isn't it? The Monster Jam series. It's a Monster Truck toy, and those games are on everything. I think there is one on Game Pass already, or PS Plus or something like that. But yeah, it looked fun, right? I mean, if it was on,
it does look quite fun. It does look fun.
The racing looked quite good. It had some weird like Jim Carner shit in it, which was making me like, oh no, but. If it was on Game Pass and we were racing some monster trucks, yeah.
Do you know, actually, the last one of the series I played it was on Stadia Pro.
I was going to say, I played a little bit of one on Stadia.
Yeah, and it was quite fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a strange one to see. It's another one where people must be buying this, right? If they keep making them. So.
Hell yeah.
There's clearly some sort of audience. After that, we had the Persona 3 Reload expansion pass was announced. I think the big part of this was the DLC add-on bit, and then there were some costumes as well, right?
Yeah.
And I believe was the whole thing part of Game Pass?
It's a Game Pass Ultimate perk.
There you go.
Which is crazy. So you're basically getting the Ultimate edition of the game, which would be £100, right? With your Game Pass subscription. So that's a really cool way to play the game. Like, it's typical Sega Atlas cleverness, because they want to grow that Xbox market. So hey, why not? And if you're a Japanese player and you're one of the few Xbox Japanese players and you have Game Pass, you're going to be like, well, why not? That's a pretty good deal. I think it might even apply for the PC version of the game as well, but don't quote me on it, because it's Ultimate specifically, not console.
So it's not console, it's not PC. You have to have Ultimate. But I guess you would be able to download it if you had Ultimate on PC, because I'm not 100% sure.
Is this DLC? Is this like you play this after the game's finished, or is this one of these weird ones where it's like part of the game?
It was post game, so they did.
Oh, okay.
They did a version of the game. I think it's the first revision of the game.
Yeah, this is from Fez.
They added They basically added a post game. You play as one of the characters, and it's like quite a hefty chunk of content.
Yeah.
So they've
Answer?
it. Yeah, I think that's what it was called. So it's one of those where you can, if you want to sit on your high horse, you can. Oh, why wasn't it involved in the original version of the game? But I think it's good. I think they had no right to add it in at all. So the fact that they have is pretty cool. I mean, the rest of the expansion pass is probably not worth it. The money personally for me, I don't ever think costumes should be a part of a season pass, but for that content alone with Xbox, it's already a 100-hour game, so why not chuck an extra 30 hours in? But cool game.
Yeah, at least if it's after the story as well, it's like you could play the main game now and then kind of go back to it when this comes out in September, as opposed to being like, well, I just wait now. If it was,
Yeah, it's a game I do recommend to you because I think it's worth trying. It's a series worth trying, especially because you've
not got the Portal content.
Yeah, and you've just played a lot of obviously you play in Infinite Wealth, so and Atlas helped on that game. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm in my Sega fanboy period, right?
Thank God, because it's only me and you that are keeping Sega alive, Craigo.
Hey, I bought Unicorn. Well, I bought Unicorn. It was used, but so.
Oh, so you literally actively trying to destroy them? Okay.
Chris Bengelli destroying the video game industry single-handedly. Does this make you want to play it anymore, Pengles, or is it dead dukes?
No, I still might play it, but I'm just waiting for when they do like the physical in like October, and it's all in one bundle, and that'd be good.
Oh yeah. After that, we had the first Berserker Kazan, which is a Souls-like from Nexon, I think.
Yeah. I kind of like the look of it, but then it's like, it's a Souls-like.
Yeah, it's just always just sad, isn't it, that everything has to be a Souls-like now? What else did Nexon make as well?
They made Data Diver, that really small indie title.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Nexon's that really small indie company. Yeah.
Well, like Sony, you buy all their games.
Yeah. It's and like Microsoft, really small like those people.
Because that had a really cool art style, didn't it? And I was like, it's just that kind of cool. But yeah, Souls-like, don't they? One which is more interesting, we had Tales of Kanzera Zao, was shown again. We've seen this game quite a lot already, haven't we?
It's the EA one, right? The EA.
Yeah, EA original.
EA Prince of Persia game.
2D Metroidvania. It's coming on the 23rd of April. This game looks really good. I will probably just wait for it to come to EA Play, right? That's what makes the most sense. But yeah, it does look a lot like Prince of Persia. And I think people have started previewing it, and I believe is there a demo on Steam or something as well?
Yeah, I think
people start playing the demo. People seem pretty hot on this as well. So, obviously, I know Dave isn't a big 2D Metroidvania man, but Pengles, you kind of are. Does this tickle you at all?
Yeah, it does look really good, and it's pretty well priced. I think it's like 16 quid, which
that is well priced.
Considering Prince of Persia is like 40. I know this obviously you can play it for Ubisoft Plus, and this will eventually come to EA Play. But yeah, it's pretty well priced, and I know you picked up on Fantasy Critic, and I can see it doing pretty well.
Yeah, reviewers tend to like hard 2D Metroidvanias, don't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see that doing very well. Talking about games that I have a Fantasy Cricket Bengals.
Yeah.
Frostpunk 2 was shown. I think this is the first time it got a date, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Don't think it had a date before this. It's the 25th of July. It's a hard-ass PC game about building a settlement in the snow, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's coming to PC Game Pass as well, so you can play it on that if you want.
Yeah. It's just another one of those just time eatery thing, isn't it?
You
can just see time melting away to this. And then the last thing they showed was, Kinitsu Gami Path of the Goddess. I think I've done well there. Which is that Capcom game, as everyone has basically christened it.
Yeah.
So we
they
finally
showed...
got to see what the game was.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's basically like a action game with a bit of like RTS in it, essentially, right?
Yeah, and a bit of like gas tower defense. Like, oh, let's put your units here because they're going to defend from the attacking yokai, I guess, and that. Sorry.
Which is Japanese for Spirit Ghost.
Mm.
But yeah, I think it was interesting. It's one of those, so it's coming to Game Pass. So I'm more interested than if I wasn't. If it wasn't, because to me, I'm like, I look at this and I go, why isn't this on Onimusha? Because that's the series that this feels like it could be. But I'm willing to give it a go. Capcom have been kind of on fire for the last 5 to 6 years. So I'm kind of like, yep, cool, we'll try it. It's the same with like Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm like, oh, that game's probably going to do a lot better than the first game because they're a good studio. Right. Really want a new Devil May Cry though, Craig. That's what I wanted Tsuno to do after Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah, I quite like the look at this. I think it. It always reminded me watching this game about like the 360 days. You just get these random ass games. Like, what the fuck am I even looking at? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I miss that time.
Yeah.
Where you'd be like, oh my god, this isn't a live service military shooter. You're joking.
Yes. Yeah. It kind of threw me back to that. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. I don't think they did a date though again. So it's still just 2024.
Because Capcom after this had 2 showcases themselves, and they showed more of this, and still no date in that either.
I kind of like that though, because to me it seems like this is a very experimental game. So I'm kind of like, they're like, when it's ready, like the whole marketing plan is Game Pass. So they're like, I wouldn't even be surprised if this is a shadow drop during the Xbox showcase in June. Like, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they were like, hey, it's ready to go. So here we go.
You can see it definitely, or maybe like, oh, it comes out in July or something to Game Pass.
Yeah,
you can definitely see that.
It's like it's our big surprise game. I would almost put it as my prediction for it. That it could be the shadow drop, where they're like, hey, it's available tonight or tomorrow morning. Let's play it. I mean, me and Craig will play it for sure. So that might be quite a fun episode for us to do, boy. But yeah, looks cool.
I love as well that all the Capcom, like this and Dragon's Dogma, they obviously use the same like engine as Monster Hunter, and so I'm guessing there's some assets there because they all have that vibe, don't they?
Yeah, is it all the RE engine, Pengy?
Yeah, because remember when we first saw this, we all thought it was Monster Hunter Rise because of this style, and then it's like, oh no, wait, it's this new thing. Yeah, but they pretty much all use the
Rise
RE
definitely
engine.
uses the RE engine because yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool. It's again like the Capcom were one of those, like, I remember the dark days. Ironically, it was the 360 era where Capcom were awful, and it was just bad decision after bad decision. So to see them kind of flourishing now with they're arguably the most consistent publisher that isn't owned by someone else. I think. I mean, them and Sega.
Yeah, definitely.
It's literally them and Sega Atlas are like the two that I'm like, I will buy almost anything they put out if I have the money, because I can't tell you the last bad Capcom game. Chris can probably tell me, but I'm not sure what the last bad one was.
I can't think of the last actual bad one.
Like probably some Resident Evil spin-off game on the Xbox One.
Because remember there was Reverses, or wasn't there? Something that was a free.
Yeah, but that's just a mode. Like I can't. And people that played that were like, oh, it's fun. But like the last actual like flop they put out, I don't know. I wish they'd bring back Lost Planet as well. Another game I wish they'd bring back. Love that game.
And where's my Dino Crisis?
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know. Do people actually like dinosaurs?
Who doesn't like dinosaurs? Come on.
Craig hates dinosaurs and red-headed women.
You weren't there, Pengles. You had Exoprimal. Where were you?
Right, and again, that game was supposed to be good as well, which is really funny because I remember we watched him like, why are they doing it? And people were like, oh, like it's fun. But anyway, any more, Craig? I can't even remember this at this point.
That was it.
No, that was the last game. So
what do we think?
I thought it was okay for what it is. I think this is pretty much what you'd expect from them, and because I think I went back and saw what was announced the last one they did it at the end of last year, and it was about the same length and felt about the sort of same quality. I think it's like a 2 out of 2.5 or a 3 is an out of 5, and I think that's kind of what you'd kind of expect from this sort of little partner showcase.
Yeah, I think it met expectations. They made it pretty clear we weren't going to get Forza Horizon 6 and Halo Infinite 2. So I was like, okay. I'm pretty pleased to be a Game Pass subscriber from it, which is kind of, I think, for Xbox in particular, you have to. It's kind of how you have to go into all of these shows, because that's their marketing plan. So when you're like, yeah, there's 3 or 4 games I will play. So like, fair play to them, and just makes me more excited for their showcase in June.
Yeah, definitely. What were your thoughts, Pengy?
Yeah, I thought it was quite good. Because being a partner, preview, like we had the Nintendo one of that recently as well, and this was like 4 games I'm interested in out of and from this. So that's pretty good, and Capcom, like we just said, like so they're not even like weird indies or something like that. No, it's like a Capcom game as well that I'm interested in. So yeah, I would say pretty good. So like 2.5, 3 out of 5, considering it's a part of the preview.
Yeah, I think as well, like one of the criticisms people had of Xbox a few years ago is that they don't do enough of like showcases or anything. They had their June one and that was it. I feel like they're doing quite a good job with their like cadence at the moment with the developer directs they seem to do in January, and then we've had this one, and then we have the big show in June.
And then did we get one other last year, like a September-y time, or did I?
We had another developer direct, didn't we? And then we had the partner preview as well at the end of last year. So so I think it was quite a good cadence, isn't it?
We're never going to run out of games to play. I think that's the moral of the story.
No, unless the heat death of the gaming industry happens, and
Right. Well, people have been panic mongering about it, haven't they? Which I think is really funny. Like, games have never been as financially successful as they are now, but because people have overstretched, like, oh, it's all coming crashing down. And you're like, is it though?
And it hurts inside.
Oh, and if the Hulkster were here, brother, it would be okay.
We would just take our vitamins and it'll all be fine.
Right, but I suppose, yeah, I mean, you guys are now between games, which is quite funny.
Yeah, it is very between games, because obviously Dragon's Dogma is this Friday and Princess Peach's as well. So
interested to see what you think of Peach, because it just doesn't look like it's going to be much of anything to me, and I'm the Nintendo guy at the moment, so that's a damning statement. But I just don't think it looks like anything in particular.
So I'm guessing that game is arriving on Friday, yeah? Thank you.
No, that'll be
Are
sold
you
by
working on Friday?
Yeah, I'm on early, I believe.
I reckon that game is sold by Sunday.
Yeah,
Dave.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I reckon it's in, it's out, it goes on a list somewhere, and it's never talked about again. I think that's what happens with that.
Yeah, I think Dragon's Dogma is really the interesting game.
Yeah, it looks so fucking good. It looks so good.
Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty tempted to play the first one because I own it on everything, and I really can't be buying full price games for actual money at the moment. So, yeah, maybe if I finish the first one, I'd love to hear what you guys think of the sequel, and go from there. But yeah, that wraps up episode 106 of the Save Slot 3 podcast, Gamescast even. Thank you if you got this far. If you got this far, comment Pengel's super resolution as a comment, because PSR is what we all need. And we will see you next week, when we will no doubt be talking about video games.
Yeah, most probably in this video game stuff.
In which case, we will pivot and become a crochet and knitting podcast, which is something that Craig has a great experience with.
Hey, I did textiles in school for like 6 months.
Right, and then we all went to DT, did woodwork. But yeah, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.